Hey guys, back again with war number 2 of season 23, and we start off the war again with Captain Marvel movie against this Vision Arcus, and sometimes you just make mistakes. It's part of the game, and that's how it goes. So I've been soloing him this guy so frequently that I'm hardly even thinking about the stubborn. I go in, I forget quickly again that he's unawakened, so he's not going to shrug off that initial hit. And then there's one moment right here where I accidentally evade when I usually parry. And now when I go and drop my special 2, I totally blank on getting the indestructible off. And when the fight would have normally been over, I'm like, oh crap, I gotta get the take a hit on the block. And by that point, my indestructible's gone. Now I'm taking damage from the incinerates, and I probably could have, backed off and let the incinerate disappear and go into the poison phase. And I don't know, it just took me by surprise that it wasn't already over, and I give up a death. And it was kind of frustrating, but that's what happens sometimes. But you can, even to the best of us, you're gonna pick up some deaths, and we're not in like Masters bracket or tier 1. We're fighting, to go from like, Platinum 3, trying top of Platinum 3 to hopefully the bottom of Platinum 2, hopefully by the end of the season. This Dragon Man, he does have a problem where armor breaks on Cosmic Champions. This is a calculated risk. I knew I was going to be taking some damage back from armor breaks. I did not start off the fight well. The first parry didn't hit, and then I wasted most of my indestructible. So again, calculated risk did not pan out, and I get stuck taking another death here. And these two were pretty frustrating because I really didn't need these, and this war ended up being much closer than we initially thought, and any extra attack bonus would have helped. So unfortunately, I got to go back in. I needed to save my items just in case for later, so I brought in just Nick Fury. I knew I'm going to take a bunch of damage. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go into I've got the second phase that I kind of want to be in for later. So I just kind of it doesn't really matter if I take a little bit of damage here on his first phase. So I just go in and I'm able to finish off the fight, no problem. So it's an unfortunate first 2 deaths because the second 2 fights I've got were going to be very tough. So, and I knew that going in. So I have this MCOC here, has given me trouble before on Window of Opportunity stun and One Eye Open. It's just hard to get it's hard for me to get someone like a Killmonger on my team when, where I'd be able to get the True Strike to really, to avoid his damage. And here, I've done this fight before, and I kind of slow play it with Nick Fury, just make sure that I don't trigger his auto block, and hit into his block, take special ones, on the block and attack back in. It's not that terrible. Like, it is gonna be rough. Like, it's gonna be a slow fight, especially if he keeps auto blocking pretty much, or not auto blocking, but his blocks. If I can barely get some hits in there. So it worked out okay in this one, so I was pretty happy. It was a little bit down to the wire, but it worked out all right. So you can watch the rest of this one's a little bit slow. I don't need to comment through the entire thing, but I'll see you guys for the next fight. Okay, next we have a thing on window of opportunity stun, but this one doesn't have the one I opened, so it's just straightforward. This fight actually was closer than it needed to be. It was actually a really nice fight with Stealth Suit Spider-Man. So everything worked out really well. Sometimes I have a hard time getting openings without triggering the indestructible like that, but for the most part, it worked out great. So I was able to, perfectly, I was able to bait his heavy without triggering the indestructible, get off the slow, get into a nice rhythm where he actually was at 15 rock stacks. That was perfect. Again, apply the slow again, get off a special one. And again here I've got the slow active, so I don't have to worry about everything. And at this point here I'm kind of playing around trying to get to the 15 rock stacks, but then I get the slow on again, and then I'm going to try and build up to a special 3 so that I can reapply them. Problem is I did not go for the special 2 for the extended stun duration because it is a relatively short fight, and I don't really have to worry about the rock stacks here. So here again, I've got the slow active, I get the special 3 off, I've got almost a full bar of power, it's working out great, but then I do make one slip up with applying the next slow, like here, there it is, but now he had that stubborn on me, so I'm just trying to get that stubborn off, but I also have to play around the rock stacks, and I mistime it by I think 1. There I was trying, I don't know what happened, I think I accidentally hit the special 1 there. Now I'm kind of pushed back against the wall. I don't want to get him to actually push him to unstoppable. I get the special off, I'm stuck in the corner, but then I take out the last hit here on the block, and I go ahead and throw my heavy into him and take him out. So I got a little lucky there at the end. It was moving smooth up until that point. So next we get into the boss circle, and we needed some help on this, someone to take the stunning reflection thing. So I brought my junior account in, and I went in with Void. Now the problem is normally I'm able to get even on stun immune, I can at least build up my destructible charges to counter him. Here, you don't have the chance to stun him unless you have an Incinerate champ, which we didn't have someone to go that route against Ignite. So I figure I'll try my best with Void, and if I can do a good job of, baiting his, heavies and special ones without triggering stubborn, so like here it's working out fantastic so far, then I'll be okay. It's just going to be a bit of a longer fight. I'm not going to be able to get, I just have to be careful not to stun, and that's the problem with all these window of opportunity stuns, stunning reflection. Unless you take off parry, which is like, I just don't want to go and start redoing masteries, then you're stuck, and as soon as you accidentally hit parry, you're stuck. So this fight actually went extremely well relative to what I thought it was going to be, and I almost got him down, but then at one point I do accidentally get a parry that registers. I'm probably not trying to parry, obviously, I'm probably just backing off, and it's just the the twitch of the thumb, and then you accidentally parry, and that's all she wrote. So I was pretty happy with it, but I kind of knew that if I screw up here, I'm going to have to revive all the way for the Doom boss fight, and that one also. I just got unlucky there, but we'll cross that road in a few minutes. But this is a slow one, but it worked out pretty well until I got the and here was working out really well. It was just trying to figure out times to try and push him to 15 rock stacks. Like here I've got to push him back again. This is probably one of the harder spots where hopefully he turtled up, so I was able to get to push him to a special, but again, attack back in. Now he's triggered his indestructible again, so there did a good job of baiting his heavy, and I think right here I back off. I think it's the next one, it must be. So I back off here, I'm trying to push him to baiting his special, and there. I'm not obviously not trying to get stunned. Parry. But that was unfortunate, because that was looking like we were on our way to a solo on a pretty tough one. Here we have a Doom boss, and we go in with Void. And let's see here. So unfortunately here, I started off with Mr. Fantastic synergies, so I get an automatic Petrify on him from the beginning, but I'm not good at baiting his heavy with my heavy to reapply it. I'm just not confident to make that move. My first couple, I think there's my first 2 chances I don't get a Petrify. And let's see, I think I get I do have a invulnerability boost on just in case. My 3rd debuff is not a Petrify, and I get stuck with a heavy to the face. I take a 2nd heavy to the face. My 4th debuff also isn't Petrify, so literally the worst possible odds to not have a Petrify on happen at the beginning of this fight. I finally get the Petrify on. I just want to stay away from him when I have that shock on, and now I can finally, after losing like a whole chunk of health, now I got to go in and try and do this fight after wasting all that time and taking 2 heavy to the face. I also managed to get a nice evade on a special 2, which is rare. But I know I can do it. It's just hard to want to pull it off in, in the boss fight of Alliance War. So I'm more happy consistently evading his special 1s. But here again, stun immune compared to like the previous fight with Setting Reflection. At least I can go in and take some blocked hits and take some parries to build up some destructible charges. So here again, like, I should have done maybe a few more at the beginning, would have helped, but unfortunately, I think there's a point where I took too much damage there at the beginning by getting pretty unlucky, and that kind of messed up the end of this fight here, because it is a 6-star rank 3 Dr. Doom, so he's going to be one tanky defender, but it's unfortunate, but we're going to have to take another L on this one, and hopefully we'll continue to improve for the next war. So good luck to you guys. Enjoy the rest of the fight there. I did get clipped there, and that's where the fight kind of ended, so that was unfortunate. So I almost had the solo here, revive up and finish, but enjoy the rest of it, and we'll see you in the next one.